Greetings and salutations, everyone. This is Mr. Wonderful the Garbologist, and this is a waste connection safety video. And this is going to pertain to the blade and getting behind the blade. Now, I've just dumped the truck. As you can hear, I got alarms going off. That's my alarm on my tailgate that you can hear because I have the volume turned up on the camera. I have a light here indicating the tailgate is open. I've got the blade into the body and I'm ready to go behind the blade. Now, Waste Connections wants you to do a few things before you go behind the blade. So we've just dumped in the landfill. We're out of the way of the tipping area so we can go behind the blade and clean the blade. Turn the lights off, shut the truck down, key out, and take this tag here, which we will use when we turn the battery off, because we have to turn the battery off because that's what they want us to do. Now you want to take the key out. Why do I need to shut the battery off? Because they want you to, because that's part of the safety procedure. Now there's no pressure on the blade, and because this isn't an old style truck, you know, like we used to drive in the early 80s, where you had an array of controls with the cables that went out of the bottom of the cab on the passenger side and right to the valve body, and you could move the cables and move the valve body to release any pressure or stored energy. You can't do that with these trucks because everything's electronic. But the truck is empty, the blade is in the body, there's no pressure on the blade, so I can assume with a certain amount of certainty that there's no stored energy in those cylinders. So let me shut this light off here. We've got the key in our pocket and I've got my lockout tag out. I'm going to shut the battery off and place it in there. Now it's unlikely that anybody's going to come and try and start the truck, but again, it's procedure and it's what you have to do. And it really doesn't take that much time. It's not much that more effort. It's just something you need to do. Now, a lot of people want to know, well, why do I even have to shut the truck off? I mean, what's the problem with leaving the truck running? Well, I'll tell you what the problem is. If you're behind this blade with the truck running, like I said, this isn't an old school truck with all mechanical control. We didn't even have the air controls back in the early 80s. It was all mechanical. These trucks are light years away from those. You know, they live and die by the proc switch and circuit boards. And if you're behind this blade, when something up there fails, you've got to bet your life that you're going to get out of that hole before that blade gets to you. Now you look at the floor of the hopper usually has all kinds of liquid on it from dumping cans all day long, and it's almost always slippery. So you're behind the blade, the engine's running, you're confident that blade starts to move back, I can get out of the truck. Well, when that blade starts coming back, you are more than likely going to panic, and as soon as you panic, you lose control. And if you slip and you fall, that blade's going to catch you, and it's going to push you against that bulkhead until you're dead. Because with these trucks, there's proc switches up there on the rod end of this upper cylinder, and there's tabs on the rod end which move when the blade goes back and forth. And if that tab cannot get to that proc switch to shut the truck off, to shut the hydraulics off, it's going to keep pushing, and it's not going to be able to do that if you're stuck right there. And I'm telling you right now, that's going to be an agonizing death, because it's going to keep pushing on you and keep pushing on you until you're dead, and even after you're dead. And it's going to keep pushing until somebody discovers you dead behind the blade, or the truck runs out of fuel, whichever comes first. Now if you're back here, you're cleaning this blade, you're doing it because this is your job, and you have a job, which means that somebody probably relies on you. Now if you're not going to shut the truck off for them, then you should probably be doing another job, because this is extremely dangerous. You cannot get behind this blade while the truck's running for any reason. You know, throughout the course of the day, it's happened to all of us that drive front loaders. You might get a piece of wood, a 2x6, a 4x4 that gets between the blade and the bulkhead, and the blade won't come all the way back. And after a while, after a few seconds, you realize, well, there's something back there. That's why the blade's not coming back. So you push the blade back a little, you open the door and you look, oh, well, there's this 4x4 over there. Let me just run in there and grab it. Again, you're taking a chance. You're taking a chance with your life. It takes only a second or two for you to come in, okay, I got it, throw it out, and then get out. Well, in that time, this blade might start moving. Now, if it doesn't catch you there, it might catch you halfway in and out of here. And it doesn't sound like too bad until you realize that this is going to become a cutting edge, and this is going to become a cutting edge. And what's going to be in between those two cutting edges are more than likely your legs. And when you've got about 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch between the two, your legs are coming off. Now you might get out of that hole alive, but unless somebody finds you right away, you're going to bleed out. And if they do find you, congratulations, you've just become a double amputee, because you didn't want to take an extra second to shut the truck off before you got back here. Do yourself a favor. Follow company policy. I know it's inconvenience. I don't like doing it. I would much rather jump back here. You know, in Florida it gets 99 degrees, 99% humidity. I want to come back here after I've been sweating like crazy, clean the blade. I want to get back into a cold truck. Up north, you're cleaning the blade and it's 1 degree back here. You want to get into a warm truck. We've all been there. But you can't do it anymore. This is not old school. This isn't, in the old days when we used to drive those Dempsters, the valve body was right here, and you could actually move the plunger up and down and move the blade back if you wanted to. We used to do that when it was all mechanical controls. Not anymore. It is absolutely dangerous to get back here with the truck running. So do yourself a favor and don't ever do it, because your life just might depend on it.